Chapter 9. The Law of Supply. The repetition of mantrams is hypnotic, and people set their own limitations by leaning on the power of affirmation. The moment we say, "I want a certain condition," we have barred the way to much good that we did not recognize and have opened but one avenue of expression. Unless the statement were in accord with the fullness of an expanding life, the realization might take a form not anticipated. The very emphasis on want may aggravate the need instead of granting supply. The moment we put up a bar to the free flow of substance by a limiting statement, we hinder the perfect expression of God's abundance. What is the great expression that brings all things? I am abundance. This statement opens every avenue of expression and closes none. It recognizes the presence of God in all things and the conscious unity of the self and the source of all good. You will find that this was the teaching of Jesus. It was abundance always, with no limitation whatever. I am knowledge. I am harmony. Use of these expressions will vitalize the energy in the body so that there results a new awareness of the abundance of knowledge and harmony. Nor is the energy depleted through free use in daily life. But if one has abundance, others must have it. As we assume that attitude, we shall come to know that if one does not have abundance, none can be prosperous. If we believe we are not prosperous, it is because we have isolated ourselves from this freely flowing abundance and built up the idol of lack. We have made believe we are just a part of the whole. But everyone is merged in the whole because there is a completion only in that unity. If one were out, it could not be complete. The moment we realize our unity with the completed condition, we find that we express it outwardly. Worship of God with all our hearts and all our strength frees us from conditions of limitation. No one need be isolated. It is possible to realize that sense of union with God's abundance right now. The first determination must be an effort to get rid of the individual sense of limitation that we ourselves have built. There are several rather definite steps that must be taken to free the self from limitation. There is no situation that cannot be conquered. Happiness, prosperity, and abundance belong to all. The greatest bar is the lack of acceptance. When the rabble scoffed at Jesus, did he pay any attention? When he saw people searching for things that they thought belonged to them, he told them to stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. He went on to explain that man is the Lord of all creation. He said, "Peace, be still." And he taught his disciples to recognize that you are free. With that declaration, they brought themselves from what was considered the lowly walks of life into their discipleship. When Jesus chose a disciple from among fishermen, did he see him as a fisherman? No, he saw him as disciple, a fisher of men. He said, "Follow me." He instructed them to follow the expressions that had brought him to where he was. All was done with the greatest humility because he made it plain that selfishness could not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Perspective on the conditions throughout the earth today shows that seeming discord puts us in a position where we think that we are separate from our neighbor and only unrelated individuals in the great plan of existence. But no one body can be taken out of that plan, and the plan continue to manifest. Every individual is just as necessary to its completion as the number of atoms to the molecule. When, through our expressions, we again show the unison of existence, we realize that we were never separate nor outside of a unity with the whole. Jesus taught in simple terms that the object of this life is not death, but a greater expression of life. Everyone is a unit in the whole principle operating in harmony, where every individual stands in his own domain, complete in accord. For that reason, you will find if you go through the simple teachings of Jesus that he put forth the declaration, "I am God," for every individual to use. That is not a part of principle, but the principle itself. Religious doctrines have all too often emphasized theory instead of practice. Repetition of such an attitude limits our understanding of truth to the physical things, and we lose the spiritual significance. When Jesus was asked regarding the answering of prayer, he said that the reason prayer was not answered was that the asking had been amiss. You will find that if you stand definitely with a positive declaration, you will not need to use words at all. The moment that you realize within yourself that abundance already exists for you, at that very instant the condition manifests for you. Then you do not need outside suggestion. You are in perfect harmony with principle. The instant you think of any condition, you are one with it. You will find that if you stand definitely with the situation, you will never need to repeat a petition. It is finished before you ask. Jesus said, "While you are asking, I have heard." Then he went right on and said, "Before it is spoken, it is already accomplished." Do we need to go on asking for a condition that is already accomplished? How many times can a condition be completed? Need we beg for something that is already ours? No. You can trace the lives of our greatest men and see how they accepted accomplishment. Deep in the subconscious, the way of accomplishment already existed. With freedom from any sense of limitation, they were able to express that which already existed. It is through complete lack of division that we stand as principled. How could we be in want if we put God in the place of want? Principle is harmonious and flows according to definite laws with which man must learn to work.